Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Rune Words. Today, we're going to be looking at the new and improved version of Mosaic, which has changed, by the way. This is the original version of Mosaic that they had before the changes. It's 25% for finishing moves to consume charges. Had the 3 to 14 cold damage and some other interesting things on there. They changed it. They really changed it. And so I'm going to have to take you over to the patch notes here. And we're going to be talking about the patch notes here with the changes that they've made. So the first thing that they changed, which is a pretty redonkulously huge one, is they changed the 25% chance for finishing moves not to consume charges to 50%. Now, they already had confirmed to us that wearing two claws would allow the effect to stack, and having two 50% charges on does, in fact, bring it to 100% chance to not consume finishing charges. This means that when you are utilizing the mosaics together in sequence, you now will not burn any combo charges at all. In fact, you can maintain the same combo charges no matter what. So, like, let's say, for instance, I was, to build a specific set of charges. Like, maybe I built 2 Phoenix Strike charges so that I had the Chain Lightning. Maybe I did 3, Claws of Thunder, and did like 3 Blades of Ice, and so forth and so on, and 3 Fists of Fire, so that I have 3, 3, 3, 1, or 3, 3, 3, 2, or 3, 3, 3, 3, or whatever it is that I'm looking at. I could potentially just simply continually unleash that charge stack forever. I had originally thought about this, and I was like, well, it wouldn't be forever, because the combo orbs do eventually expire. They expire after about 15 seconds. And then they added in this line. When a finisher is executed this way, it now refreshes the expiration timer of the stack, which means that the combo orbs will no longer expire as long as you're attacking. So if you build a specific set of orbs, like for instance you build a 3-3-3-1 or a 3-3-3-2 or something like that, or whatever it is specifically that you're building, you will not run out of those orbs as long as you are attacking, which means that they are going to continually stay on your character until you finish beating the ever-loving crap of whatever monster is that you're beating. Which makes this like almost completely insane in terms of the way that it is going to affect the way a martial arts sin is built. Then they also added in some other stuff in here, as if that wasn't enough. They also added in 7% lifesteal, which was not there before, 8 to 15% cold skill damage, 8 to 15% lightning skill damage, and 8 to 15% fire skill damage, all added in just like literally to make this even more powerful in terms of this particular character. And that's not all, because down here they also made some changes to the assassin. And this has taken the assassin a little bit higher. So they said that they had fixed an issue where missiles created from martial arts charge-up skills would not gain the benefit of plus to elemental skill damage modifiers, which means that now, unlike before, things like, Nightwing's Veil that have plus cold skill damage, or, fire, lightning, cold facets that have plus cold skill, fire skill, and lightning skill damage, and things like that. Apparently they weren't working with martial art charges before, and now they are. They've also now made it so that the assassin trap skills benefit from negative enemy resistance, which means that you could potentially build a negative lightning damage build specifically around Mosaic. Say, for instance, building the lightning portion of Phoenix Strike, the lightning Claws of Thunder, and then going with the lightning traps and putting on things like Griffin's Eye Diadem and lightning facets and whatnot to enhance your lightning prowess, and enhance both aspects, the lightning traps and also the lightning martial arts skills as well, and could make some sort of crazy combo ability, especially considering that it has lightning skill damage on it. And with the proper claw that has +3 Phoenix, maybe +3 to specific skills that you're looking for, it could be very, very interesting. As far as the changes to Mosaic goes, they're pretty drastic. I feel like when they first started with this rune word, they were like, hey, you know, let's make something cool that the martial arts assassin can use. And then now they're just like, you know what, let's go all in. Let's see how cool this will look if we let it go the whole way. If we put it at 100%, if we really dig into the martial arts sin and see if we can make her into like the craziest character ever. And just to give you an idea, let's go take a look at what the current 50%. So this is what 50% is. So this would essentially be the equivalent of one claw, not both claws. And I'm going to show you what that looks like on this Sin, because she's pretty crazy. Let me go ahead and beef up her doujinks here. And, yep, okay, that works just fine. Let's go ahead and grab our finisher, which is we're going to use our kick here. And I'm going to give you an idea of what this looks like when you have all of these abilities going off basically at the same time. And go ahead and grab this. So what you would potentially be able to do is build up your charges in advance. And keep them up. So once you utilize one of these charges, it's going to look something like that. And you're going to see tons of meteors coming down and all this other crazy stuff. But as you can see, my charges are gone, so I've burned them all. But the thing is that with the 100% that they're offering you, and also the ability to reset the timers, you're going to have these charges all the time. So these charges are just going to be floating around your character all the time. And every monster that you hit, every single time you apply a finisher to a target, it's going to have this craziness. Every single time. And this is going to make for some absolutely insane builds. This is one of the characters that I had already decided to start as when they came out with the Mosaic Rune Word. And honestly, now that they're making it even more interesting, it definitely is the one that I'm going to be going with. Malgulthul is extremely cheap, by the way. I can't even, like, that is not an expensive rune word, like, by any stretch of the imagination. So making 2 of them for a martial arts sin is going to be extremely easy, and also rolling them to hopefully get the perfect version. And looking for the perfect claw, which you would eventually maybe make another one. There's going to be a lot of these mosaic claws floating around, I can imagine. Overall, I'm kind of impressed with the direction that they went with this. It's very ballsy. You know, it's very much so like, hey, you know, this is what we want to see. We want to play around with this. We want to have some fun with it. Let's check it out. Only thing that I would caution you guys is it's going to be pretty hard on your computers. Let me just say it is going to be pretty rough on your computers. You're going to be spamming tons and tons and tons of effects on the screen all the time. You're going to be spamming fire, ice, lightning, novas, charged bolts, chaos ice bolts, chain lightning, meteors, fire, ice, lightning, just constantly coming out in every direction all over the place. Don't be surprised if you're in a game with one of these characters and somebody asks you to leave because their computer lit on fire. I mean, granted, they're going to be leaving soon anyway because their computer probably already lit on fire. But you can always switch to the old graphics and do it in the old graphics. It'll look really pretty, guys. I mean, they didn't tell us this was going to be the old graphics patch, but that's, you know, for some of you guys, this very well might be the old graphics patch. This is where you get to return to your roots and have some fun playing the old version of the game. Yeah, and get in there and just that way when you use all your crazy abilities, you don't have to worry about, you know, them lagging you up or nothing. There is one thing that I think we need to talk about, though, when it comes to the way that they have the new Mosaic rune word set up. So I do feel like this is important. So Phoenix Strike has always been an ability that has allowed you to utilize, say, Meteor, Chain Lightning, or Chaos Ice Bolt on a specific charge. And this has always been an issue because if you wanted to spam that specific ability, it was very difficult. However, now that you can choose the number of charges and the charges do not disappear, you can potentially choose the number of charges that you want for Phoenix Strike and spam that ability with ridiculous, like, I can't even explain it. How can I explain this to make it sound insane the way that I see it in my head? So right now you see that I can have one charge of Meteor, right? So if I go up to this monster, I attack one time, so I have one charge of Phoenix Strike, okay? And I kick this monster. I will either do one charge of Meteor, or I will, you know, burn that charge. Maybe I'll burn it twice or 3 times. But with a 100% chance not to burn the charge, and with an ability like this that kicks 5 times, I will potentially use 5 meteors every single time I kick. So I can potentially take the meteor ability, for instance, and I can just spam meteors on a target to the point of ridiculousness. In fact, this particular ability goes up to 8 kicks, okay? So imagine, if you will, that I spam 8 meteors per Dragon Talon, and I can potentially Dragon Talon 3 times in 2 seconds. That's a total of 24 meteors that are going to be hitting a target within 2 seconds. Okay? 24 meteors in 2 seconds. And if I continue that chain, if I just continue to spam that ability over and over and over again, nothing will stop me from spamming meteors. I can continually spam meteors for eternity until that monster is literally obliterated off the face of the planet, to the point where I'm literally casting 3,000 meteors on a target. And you start to see how ridiculous that is. One thing in particular that's really got me is the Chaos Lightning. So the Chain Lightning. The Chain Lightning that Phoenix Strike has is pretty insane. It's always been one of my favorite abilities. And if you go anywhere and you play around with the Chaos Lightning, or the Chain Lightning that's in this, it gets kind of nuts. And if you combine it with Claws of Thunder, and let's do this real quick just so I can show you. Let me grab these guys to the side for the moment. So we need 2 charges of Phoenix, and then we're going to build up 3 charges of the Lightning. And I want you to see what this looks like. Right? So that was just simply 1 kick. Alright? Now, imagine that spammed, like, 24, 30, 60, 64 times. Imagine that spammed over and over and over again, just to the point of absolute absurdity. I mean, everything on the screen would die. Everything. There wouldn't be anything left on the screen. And you could potentially build that, just, I don't even know. Like, I feel like the potential that it has is pretty amazing, and I see what they're trying to do, but I'm also scared that it might be just way too powerful, and also crash computers. Who knows? Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the new Mosaic rune word. Let me know what you guys think about the changes to Mosaic. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's going to be broken? Like, are you excited about it? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.